Yo.
Yo,
I
I
hear
don't
you
see you, man.
munching.
I
No
don't see
way.
you.
I'm coming. I'm coming. I'm almost here.
Careful now. Yeah, but where
I'm
am
in the
I?
ether. I can see you. What's going on? Come on,
Hey,
Riverside
there we
being so
go.
slow. You're eating an ice cream again.
I'm always eating ice cream. I'm addicted, dude.
Which ones are they? Looks good.
These are the LFG Bifrost Mimi Jump bars. These are Kirkland, dude. Costco. I'm telling you. I'm
Costco.
telling you.
Costco. It's too cold for ice cream, isn't
Never.
it? What is it? The nuts? Is it like pecan or hazelnut?
Probably
You
peanut.
don't know. It's probably just like bits of cockroach that they rolled into the chocolate.
The packaging says it's Kirkland signature. If that tells you.
I don't know what that means.
Means it's amazing.
Oh, okay. Good.
How are you, dude?
I'm tired, man. It's been a week. It's been a week. My wife hasn't been very well. She's come down with a cold. I think I'm coming down with a cold.
Don't do it.
Yes. What about you?
I was feeling sick earlier this week. We talked about that. It was sucky. And I'm feeling better the last couple of days.
Sucky.
I noticed I noticed myself not complaining as much. So I must be doing a little bit better. Also getting some shit done. I mean stuff, whatever.
You've moved
Pretty
things around.
Did I?
You went,
It's the ice
yeah,
cream,
you
dude.
went this way around last week, I don't think.
Oh, I've got a new little studio thing I'm working on. Right.
Nice.
What do you think? Do you guys like the guitars? Do you guys see the guitars? I don't know. Like it's like the width of the video is determined by how many people I'm talking to at any given moment, right? And like which layout. Like if it's 3 people but no screen is being shared, we're like all very kind of thin. You can't see the sides very much. Whereas on my screen, now a different screen might be different, but then someone starts sharing their screen, and now we're stacked vertically, and you can see the width of everybody, but it's smaller vertically. It's like whatever. It's a work in progress. This is all for getting ready for the video course we're going to be shooting here in the next, We'll probably start within a month. We'll start actually recording stuff.
Oh my goodness. Am I in on that as well? Have I got to do stuff? So that feels like
probably do.
So okay. The big question there, should we do a video course given what seems to be happening to video courses at the moment?
What's happening in video courses?
I don't know. Apparently they're really struggling.
I don't think that's true.
Oh, a hot take from a ice cream filled cold mouth. Come on. Tell me, why is it not true?
I mean, what are we talking about? What are we talking about? Laracast and Simon Frechtulitis, whatever his name is. I'm sorry, Simon, if I mispronounced whatever your name is. Sorry, I forget. Like when people watch us now,
I think it's Vrashliotis.
Vrashliotis.
But I could be completely wrong on that as well.
Either way, Simon, the other Simon in the Laravel community, right? He was laid off.
The other one.
The only other one I know. I mean, if there are other Simons, put your hands up. Please stand up. Please stand up. So if we're talking about that, all right. So Laracast made a layoff, right? Because of AI. That doesn't mean video courses are dying. That means that specific business found that there's no need for one person because of some AI thing. What we're talking about is very niche, very, very niche down for just native PHP. Our docs are growing, getting better all the time. I don't like docs personally. Personally, I like docs for my Claude code to use so that it knows how to do everything. But I watch videos. I'm always looking at the first 3 or 4 words in a paragraph, and I'll skim through it until I see a video. Then I click on the video. I'll watch the video for an hour and learn stuff. That's how I learn. So, maybe we do a poll before we invest heavily into it. I don't think we do though. I think we do. People will put their money where their mouth is, put a pre-sale page together. If like, don't spend the money, and just like, if we don't hit X dollars in so many weeks or whatever, then we just don't do it, or at least we shelve it until we find there's more of a need. I think there's more of a need though, and I think that with the other things we're working on, there's going to be a lot more people coming into this. They're going to need a better resource than just the documentation.
I do agree that, like, for some people, the learning exercise through video is a very good way. I've always struggled with it. Yeah. I can still see a lot of people wanting it. I think the challenge is, yeah, maybe it won't be a problem for us for this because we're not, like, it's not, the business isn't a video course. But if you're doing video courses as your main thing, now there's like a whole bunch of people who would have done video but don't, because they probably feel they don't have to learn anything anymore. They can just ask Claude and it's going to do it.
Yeah, possibly. No, I don't buy it. We talked about this. Sorry, I should finish this.
Yeah, you should.
You should talk.
Well,
go
yeah,
ahead.
I mean, I think I'm only going to say things that you're going to disagree with. That's like, I do think it's going to be a tough time, and it for educational content, and I don't think it's just like one or two people within our kind of immediate sphere that we're seeing that happening to. But my overarching thought is, like, we're sort of resilient with these things. It's like it's all additive. Sure, it kind of affects something and it kind of takes a piece away, but it doesn't take it away completely. It's like when cars came out, people still bought horses and whatever, and people still buy horses. It's not like horses have gone extinct and that kind of thing. Like, I know that's a contrived example, but yeah, people don't use them for crossing the country anymore, perhaps. But
it'd be hard to buy a horse if they've gone extinct.
I can't fault your logic. That ice cream's working for you, man. It's doing something up here. I like it. Well done.
Hey.
Keep it up. It's something about the nuts. The nuts are making it work. Nuts and bolts.
My mouth just waters. Kyle Zip, this doesn't make any sense to me. Please explain. +1 for videos. Don't spend too much time on them. What do you say? Yes, videos. Don't do much.
don't invest too much time. Maybe, like, don't overproduce the video
or
course,
you don't. I don't understand what you're saying there. So here's the thing with complex things. Look, could I go and like just start vibe coding a React Native app because the LLMs are trained really well on React Native? For the most part, you still need to know how to publish to the App Store. You're not going to find the LLMs will instruct you to doing that, but again, you're still reading through what the LLM's saying. I prefer video content in that case. But there's a lot more than that. What do you do when something goes wrong? What do you do if the LLMs go down? What if, like, these are intelligence brownouts when they drop? They will drop. They will suffer from time to time. It's already happened a few times, right? It's going to happen again. So what do you do in those cases? You still should know, as a business owner, a developer for a business owner, you should know things. And so are we saying as a whole in humanity, like, education doesn't actually matter anymore at all? I think to some degree we are saying that. That's what the argument is. And I refuse to, even if the robots were taking over every aspect of all of our lives, I don't even have to wipe anymore. I still would want to educate myself because that's the kind of engineering mindset that I've got. And I think there will always be people like that, even 200 years from now. When
I don't know. I don't agree with that. That's what we're saying, is that it's the end of learning, because I think that's like an inherently not in everybody, but in a lot of people, they enjoy learning. They enjoy learning new things and practicing what they're learning as they're learning it. Um, I think what it is the mechanism for learning is changing. So where before you know if you wanted to if you wanted to understand a topic, sort of typically you go to do a course in some educational system, right? And there'd be an expert who would be the teacher or tutor, and you would learn like theory and fundamentals, and then you go up in levels across that. That's like the traditional education system. And as we've like expanded all of the areas of technology and things that we're doing and interested in, you've got these like teachers who are kind of practitioners, not they're not tutors in the same way. And there's just been a massive explosion, like Cambrian explosion of people doing that because it's been successful, because as practitioners who have like figured it out, they've done the courses, they've got the degrees or the whatever else, and they've seen an opportunity to like divulge that education to others through alternative forms. And video's just been a really good form of that. Video as a delivery mechanism is very new. Like, it, aside of TV and film from 100 years ago, over the internet, everybody getting it on their phones or to their computers and being able to record their own videos and create that content is very new. So I think it's been like a fascination thing for a little while.
I just got an idea.
I do think there's like a belief that it is a good mechanism, but it's been like overblown for a bit too long, and now we're kind of like it's having a bit of a reset.
I just got an idea.
Oh,
I think it's a good idea. I think that it's
well, you would. Wait till Claude tells you it's a good idea.
It always does. Dude, when do you watch videos though? When does everybody watches videos. They're not educating them. Maybe they're not educated. Everybody gets on YouTube Shorts or TikTok or something and they doom scroll. That is the addiction. That won't go away. Like, it's kind of the pill we're taking to soothe us while all this other chaos in the world is going on. We have this that we can count on. What if we don't do a video course in the traditional sense? We do shorts only, and maybe like make our own app for this, maybe, or whatever. Like, you could doom scroll our content. Yeah.
There you go.
They're all just bite-sized nuggets. It's never like a sit down and whatever.
I like that. I think there are some details of like this technical stuff that you do need to go deep on, but if we can find a way to break it down into smaller chunks, yeah, I think that could really work.
You could have like live examples because you're inside of an app. Think about that.
Nuno Maduro says,
I'm a genius. My day.
I'm a genius.
Hang on. I got to change my shorts.
Hey, Nuno. I don't think he meant that you were a genius. I'm just going to go out on a limb and say I think
he said, well, my idea was.
He knows that you're not a genius. No,
he knows that I am. He's a little scared. A little scared. That's why he's pointing it out. He's just joining my side early on. I got you, dude. No problem. You made it. Totally kidding.
Great.
Yeah.
Now there are one of us.
Something to explore, because we haven't shot anything. We got an outline, I think, a generic sort of about like a Claude 5-minute outline. That is pretty good. I mean, it's really good actually. But yeah, something to consider. I don't want to talk too much about that. We've got some really cool stuff to talk about today, don't we? Or not even talk about. We're going to show some stuff.
I mean, we should just get in on that and get going, because
let's do it.
We'll have time for much else.
Let's do it. Let's do it.
Should we do a sponsor shot first before we get into everything?
We should. Are you going to do it? You want me to do it?
Where's the copy that I have to read?
It's in that note. The notes. Let's see. Live stream notes. Is that where it is? Yep. You got to scroll down. Like, I don't know why it's below December 12th. I'll move it.
Oh, don't
Boom,
move it
boom.
now because I just found it.
Too late. It's at the top now. There you go. You should have it memorized.
Okay. I should. I mean, I've heard you say it so many times.
Your volume just got really loud. Oh, you were leaned to the mic.
It's because I went away. I'm leaning back. So this week's episode of the, what do we call this show? What's the show called?
This is the Shane and Simon.
The Shane and Simon calling each
Circus.
other names show. Is brought to you by Bifrost, which Bifrost, as you may know, isn't just build automation. It's your entire mobile pipeline solved. You can ship native PHP apps to iOS and Android with zero infrastructure, zero guesswork, and zero late night debugging. We're doing the late night debugging for you. Bifrost cross compiles builds, App Store releases, logs, GitHub authentication, and soon over-the-air updates, automated workflows, and much, much more.
A lot more.
So you can focus on your product and let us and Bifrost handle all the chaos. Bifrost, the bridge between your code and your customers.
Such a great product those guys came up with. It really solves
I don't know who wrote that copy as well.
A real need.
Who wrote that
Genius.
copy?
Genius.
Mm-hmm. So check out Bifrost, please. All of the stuff that we're going to show you today is basically part of Bifrost. It's going to become part of Bifrost.
But it is part of the organization, nonetheless. Yeah. So, like, that is the company name. It's also the product, our flagship product. The sense of the word is the Bifrost is the bridge from heaven to earth, essentially, or the other way around. I like to think of it as the heavens come down to us, and then now we can go up to the heavens. But it's, you know, it's getting your ideas in front of people. What better distribution channel than apps? I mean, eventually something may come along, but I think that
the future is apps.
The future is apps.
The future is apps.
And I mean, we saw this week Philo Herman. He put out like 3 or 4 apps. He doesn't know. He's just vibe coding them because he knows that distribution is everything. And we talked about this. Like, the only thing keeping anybody from that is the barrier to entry. Like, we just don't know how to code these things. So reduce the barrier to entry. Native PHP, build it with Laravel, build it with what you know, and get it out there. We're making it easier every single day. So that's my commercial.
We really are making it easier every day, and we're going to show you some more of that today. So should we get straight into it? What did we say we were going to do? We were going to build an app. No.
Let's build a couple apps.
Let's do live.
Let's do a couple apps.
Have you got some ideas? Because I'm way out.
I don't. You had one earlier that I thought was an awesome idea.
Let's make an interactive session.
I just keep saying make a calculator, and it nails it every time. We could just do a you should show them a calculator, dude. Actually, did you see that with like the? Let's do it. Go ahead, show us. We'll add some stuff to it. It's actually really cool.
So, where's the button? Come. Why do I always forget how to do this on here?
I'm gonna go. Yeah, we could do that. There you go.
That's okay, isn't it? Is that good enough?
Yeah, it makes me want to go back to my other computer because I want another monitor now.
Yeah.
Oh well.
So, right. What is this? If you weren't here last week, and I kind of teased this a little bit, this is our kind of vibe coding solution. This is a new way to get started with Laravel and native PHP apps. And I'm going to not give you the spiel because I did that last week, and I did, made a hash of it then. I'm going to make a hash of it now. So I'm just going to go create me a calculator app that looks like. Why am I typing it? I did this last week. Let me just speak it. Create me a calculator app that looks like the iOS calculator, almost exactly. And it's going to use Livewire.
You say this. You say almost exactly. I feel like it's going to make it exactly, though.
Well, let's see what happens. How long do you think this is going to take, actually, before we go?
Until you can do 9 times 9 or something from right now. I think if you got it in less than, I mean, anything under like 20 minutes is actually impressive. I know like we're all used to vibe coding, so that's not a realistic number. I'd say a couple minutes. If we did a couple minutes.
Oh, like a challenge. Okay,
Yeah.
let's
You want me
see.
to start a timer? Let me start a timer. Hang on. Let's do it. Let's do it.
Yeah,
Let's do it.
yeah.
Hang on. Not Lowe's Foods clock. Come on. All right. Are you ready? You do the count. I'll do it when you say go.
Okay. 3, 2, 1, go. Now we just hope it works and we don't have the demo.
If it doesn't work at all, you're gonna burn the battery on my phone if it doesn't work. One of the possible dream with Mimi would be to give it access to our backend API docs, and it would vibe code that maybe. Martin, yeah, actually, that's interesting. That's an interesting concept. There's some of that stuff we somewhat kind of working on something similar, but not exactly that. Yeah, I mean, well, technically, so we're using Claude. This is Claude Code. It's Anthropic API, right? So technically, you could feed a URL to your docs and just say code against this API. So technically, you could do that already.
I think if you've already got a system that's like
1 minute
ready to go and you know, yeah, what you're building, then great, because you just feed that in. It's going to be all the context that it needs, hopefully. But yeah, right now you would have to manually bring that context in here.
It would be cool to like connect to an MCP server. Like if you had your own MCP of docs, right? You just connect to it.
Yeah, you totally can do that. So there's something not right because this preview hasn't shown up.
Uh-oh.
I think if I refresh this, sometimes it appears straight away, sometimes it doesn't. I need to work on that.
Yeah. This is why we're not releasing this today, by the way, everybody. Hey! All right, it's on a calculator.
That should have appeared
immediately. It did earlier today.
I think it would have been here at this, like after a minute or whatever it was.
We're at 2 minutes.
Yeah.
When you can do 9 times 9, that's when I'll stop it. This is still freaking cool. Like we're acting like this is not amazing. Yeah.
This isn't even the most exciting part of this, honestly. Like this is getting quite normal for me now.
I know. Yeah. You're desensitized.
I am. So for anyone who wasn't here last week when I was really miss something, I wasn't doing a very good job of, demonstrating this because it was in worse shape than this. This is our little vibe coding interface. As you can see, we're not touching any files or anything here at the moment. We're just dealing with prompts. But the one key thing that we've got that's really importantly very different from all of the other solutions that you've got is 2 things, in fact. One is running Laravel. So we've got Laravel under the hood. And the second thing is that you can preview that in line here. And we'll go on even further from that later on. But this allows us to see what's going on without having to move between apps. Like I can use this on my phone and just like, I wouldn't have to be flicking between GitHub and Claude Code or whatever else and trying to preview the thing in the browser and whatever else. So,
hey, that looks horrible.
It says it's ready.
Hey, there we go. All right, I'll stop there. We're at 3 minutes, 55 seconds. That was a slow run.
Yeah, that's not bad.
It's not bad. I did do it in under 2 minutes though. 1, 2, 3 minus 1, 2,
What
3.
should the result be?
Kirkland
I think I pressed
signature.
plus actually, but
Kirkland signature.
hazelnut and chocolate.
Yeah.
So okay, very basic. I suspect this is probably done. Oh, it's done some Livewire stuff here, so we could have a look at some of that.
I feel like Vue is quicker.
Yeah,
for these things.
I'm sure it will be because it's going to be all in the JavaScript.
It's less files, I think, and maybe I don't know.
Potentially. So yeah, maybe we can shave a few minutes off that, I'm sure. But 3 minutes is not bad. Let's just have a look at what it's done in some of this.
So what is this? What are we looking at?
This is actually the setup of all of the buttons as like separate HTML elements. Like you can see they've all got wire click on them. Yeah, this is like an overblown solution to do this in Livewire, I think. I don't know. I mean, that's cool. It's good.
I mean, what would you do? For each in a range or something? No, you want them to. There's different. What would you do? You would do a new button with a wire click on each one of them.
I think this is the simplest approach.
That's what I would do, I think. Yeah.
Yeah. No, I like it. There's what else? Anyway, let's focus on the fact that this I've done in next to no time, and I've got the preview, and I can make changes to it, and I could view this on Git. Well, I'm going to show you where it is on GitHub for a second because I want to show you a little bit behind the curtain for a moment. So we have this. These are hidden really, but if I take this, you wouldn't normally be able to see. I think it's going to be that. So right from the get-go, it's making commits for all of the stuff that we're doing. So we see 2 commits here. The initial one when it set up the project, which this one was set up some time ago. That's weird, isn't it? And then this Livewire calculator component. What should we do to make this calculator more exciting?
Make it Ronald McDonald themed. French fries and red and yellow and absurd.
Make it Ronald McDonald themed with French fries and all absurd clown colors instead of the traditional apple black and gray. Okay, so when that's like going away and doing all of that stuff, Claude's actually running inside of a box. Nice emojis. Inside of a box that's self-contained and isolated, and it can make changes to this Livewire project, which has also got NativePHP installed in it. And it's doing all of that and then committing those changes, pushing events back to this view so we can get live updates, and it's running npm and all of that stuff. So we're getting all of the tools that we're normally used to using when we're in our development environment, and we're letting Claude do all of that stuff for us remotely in a safe environment where it can't do any harm. It can only build this application. And so
could you
you
convince it to like hack the White House website or something and do criminal activities?
You probably could.
But it's on their Anthropic account, so we're not really liable. We're not liable because we set it on video on January 9th, 2026.
You have to connect your Anthropic key to this to use it. So you have to go and get one of those, and then you pay Anthropic directly. It doesn't. We're not doing like credits or tokens or anything ourselves. So you're liable for the stuff that you do.
Not yet, at least. That looks ridiculous. It is absurd. It looks like a deer hoof, doesn't it?
It's a pig's trotter. Is what it is.
No, pigs have four hooves.
Wait, what does a deer have?
Deer has two hooves, two
All
toes.
right, I didn't know
Hey,
that.
that looks better. Yeah.
This is actually that's pretty good. It's wacky.
Actually,
There's some
that's
wackiness to it. I'd like the button presses to be a bit more wild, but this is cool.
yeah. So Martin asked if this uses your own Claude. Yeah, that's exactly what we're saying. So you do have to use your own Anthropic key. Again, that's the way that it is for now. We're trying to get like MVP kind of. We're a little bit beyond an MVP, I would say. But there will be more things that we can add into this as AI grows. This will be a playground for us to do some of that stuff. We even thought about doing like mini labs of like, switching models, or like, what was the one that I was saying yesterday? Like a lab, like do different experiments that we could do that people could opt into.
Yeah, I think there's loads of ways that you could sort of try and customize the behavior of Claude under the hood, right? So
yeah. Yeah, I think so too, Martin.
And then you would just need like a kind of trial space to do that. So if you let people have labs and things like that, so that would be quite cool.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, I've been doing quite a few of these, as I'm sure you guess. I think we've got something like 60 or 70 sites on a Forge box right now because of how many of these I've been doing. And Claude is getting really, really good at doing this stuff. But it's not limited to just the HTML side of things. So at the moment, this is just kind of a vanilla Laravel project. But let's say I want, why do I keep going to type? I still haven't learned. I want to add the NativePHP safe area so that the UI respects the phone device, Chrome and whatever. And I want to add a bottom nav that gives me options to go to the calculator and another option to just see like an about screen.
Instead of an about screen, you could have like a you could do a conversions setting. So you could have like imperial to metric.
Yeah.
You could do scientific stuff too. And actually I've done both of these things, but that's something that I always try, like Celsius to Fahrenheit and back and forth, and kilometers to miles, and temperature and milliliters and all that stuff. It'd be cool if there was like, you could have like a dictionary of every like capital of every country or something, like just general information that everyone should have in their pocket. It's your Swiss Army tool of survival, knowledge survival kit.
Yeah. Branded as McDonald's.
Right, of course.
Branded like a clown.
You could have a theme switcher. Have a theme switcher on it.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh. So we could go Ronald McDonald, and what was the Hamburglar?
The Hamburglar. What was the purple guy's name? Oh my God. Gosh. Why can't I think of his name?
I don't know.
That's gonna drive me nuts.
One of the things that I want to draw attention to here is, and this isn't very detailed, but it says skill. That's great. This is fully using everything that Claude can use. So as long as we tell it like what we want it to be able to do, kind of ahead of time, then we know that it can do all of that stuff in the box. So it's got access to Laravel Boost. It can use all of Boost stuff. We've got our own plugins that we're pushing into it. I don't think that's on this particular container, but yeah, it's able to access. We've given it a bunch of other specific skills as well. So that's
something I'm looking forward to dive into. I spent quite a bit of time like creating plugins and all this stuff, and I think that this definitely can get even more smart. especially if you give it the context that this is really being rendered in a web view only, but when we use the Jump app, which we'll talk about soon, then it's going to have the native stuff. So it could be smart about what it renders and where, and a lot of room for growth with this. This gets our foot in the door, though. This allows us, again, like I said, a playground, a sandbox, a place where we can. AI is always going to be innovating and changing and adding other stuff that we haven't even thought of yet. And now we have a place we could easily, quickly implement whatever the world decides to go off and do the next MCP. And now it's whatever it is now. What is the new thing now? It's not even MCP anymore. We haven't talked about MCP servers in forever.
I can't keep up with it all.
Yep.
So this is added actually a web version so that we can see it here in the web view. Even though I didn't explicitly ask it to. And the about, can I press the button?
Super size man. Made with love. I love how the iCalc, that's funny. Ba-da-ba-ba-ba, I'm calculating it.
It's brilliant. So I never think like this is going to be something where I one shot an app and I go to production with it, honestly. Because
no, that's not.
Like there's a bunch of things that are obviously wrong with this visually, but it's like, what have we spent 10 minutes now?
Well, tell me, like, could
minutes?
you?
It's like as a starting point, this is pretty great to go super fast.
I'm gonna put you on the spot. I want to put you on the spot, Simon.
Do it. Hit me.
All right. So is this set up with GitHub?
Yeah. So as we were just examining, we can see the changes that it's making. This is a private GitHub repo that we use to deploy the thing in the first place, and we keep the history here to start with. So everything is in GitHub from the get-go. So you get commit history
hold on.
and all of that.
I get that. What I'm saying, is it in your private GitHub repository?
Not right now, but it can be.
So do that. I want you to do this, and I'm going to have you clone it locally, and then I'm going to have you pull in V3.
I'm going to try and do that, but I think this might be broken because I think I broke this just before we had to do.
Gotcha. I didn't know that.
So let me see if this will work. Yeah, no,
all
it's
right.
not.
Well, that's working for me. Oh well.
Yeah, I think something broke in the middle when I was trying to fix something else. This is what happens when you let Claude go and do stuff sometimes. But I'll fix that later. It was working. And what this will do is put it straight into my connected GitHub account. So I've connected one already to this team. I could try maybe. No, I haven't got another organization. That's not going to work. I think it's still not going to work. So anyway, use your imaginations, folks. I know you've got them.
Just couple questions in here.
Yep.
So number one, Ben James wants to know, did he miss any announcements? I don't think we announced anything. We're showing Mimi a little bit. We're going to do some Jump here pretty soon too, I think. I'm excited about Jump. I think Jump is, I think I want to get you guys excited about Jump. It's going to be awesome. And then you mentioned that Cloud runs in a box and updates the view. Can you mention the service that we use for this? In fact, why don't you take a minute and tell them what we did earlier this week in like an hour or 2 hours? What did we switch over to?
Which hour are you talking about? So we I don't know where to start with all of that, honestly, because it's complicated, but at a fundamental level, the box, the kind of container, if you want to call it that, it's not really, is on a Forge server. So I use an isolated Forge site on a Forge server, and we spin up a pool of these projects like vanilla Laravel, essentially, with the extra trimmings and Claude code all chucked in there. And that's sitting, waiting for somebody to come and start one of these sessions like I did with this application. And so then you sort of claim the session and now it's yours. And you can start building and it's going to remember everything that's done. So there's a combination of things that are going on. There's the Bifrost service where the Bifrost application where this interface is working on, and where most of like the orchestration for this is happening from. That's running on Laravel Cloud as of the other day. So we moved our whole service across from where was it? AWS. I think we were on AWS.
We were, yeah, strictly on an EC2 box,
which was running through Forge, but we've moved that to cloud, and that went so smoothly.
It was.
That was really, really nice to do. I think we've had a little bit of cleanup things where we've realized that we're trying to do things that cloud doesn't really do, like uploading files to the file system rather than to a like an S3 bucket.
Because we're using Livewire, and so Livewire uses temporary file upload, so it puts files temporarily someplace in the box, and we just don't have access permission in a cloud box. So, and anybody that goes down this road, I'll give you the tip: the easy win. You have to publish your config for Livewire, and then there's a temporary file uploads array. Inside of that, you can specify what file system or driver you want to use for that, and we just changed it to S3. So now those temporary files go to S3, and there's a nice policy, lifecycle policy that just deletes things after, I think it's an hour or something.
Cool.
Because they're temporary.
Good. Yeah. Yeah. Well, they're probably like super ephemeral as well, just because of the way
they're supposed
cloud
to be.
Works. Yeah. Yep. So we've got the Bifrost application running on cloud, and that is coordinating with GitHub and Forge. And it's speaking to the Forge API, and it's speaking to the GitHub API, and it's basically like spinning up these projects from a template and then publishing them as sites on Forge without us having to touch the UI. And then we run them all basically behind Cloudflare so that we get kind of free, without setup, SSL certificate over the top. So it's just doing all of the things that you would normally do in your local development environment. So instead of doing the stuff that you would typically do on Forge, because you're probably doing production sites there, you would have like Composer install no dev. We get rid of no dev so that you get all the dev dependencies, and we do npm run build on the box and commit various bits of that back to the repository so that you've got the changes that it's making. I mean, you might not do all of that in a normal production box. So it's just kind of treating Forge more as like a dev box, and then putting Claude in there and saying, hey, go and do a bunch of stuff for us. Here are all the things you've got access to, which is kind of nice. And where are we? So this doesn't let me do this at the moment, and that's a pain. But one of the things that we can do, what I could do here, is just take this repo, because it's the same thing. So I've got access to this one. So I'm going to pull this one down. So let me just go behind the scenes and grab this down. So I've got it on my machine.
Behind the scenes, on scene. You're like main stage acting. Behind the scenes. So we hand-rolled, Simon hand-rolled our own service for all of this stuff. And it's interesting. I think it's very interesting. I think conceptually it's interesting. I don't know how other vibe coding sort of platforms do things, but the other thing I wanted to mention with this, like we're previewing this in an iPhone or in a phone skin. But I mean, this is a full Laravel application. You could use this to do any Laravel application technically, or to start working on vibe coding a Laravel app, which is very, very interesting to think about that. I don't know where else you can vibe code Laravel apps. You could. I mean, you could always do it in your own console, but to have this as a place that you can go to, it's kind of cool.
So yeah, exactly. Like you haven't got to do any of the setup to get going. You just come here and start, and then walk. If you only did it to walk away with a setup project, all in GitHub and pushed to your GitHub, that would be like a great way to get started, honestly, because it's just super, super easy. And you can do it all from your phone. So it all works. Even the microphone transcription dictation stuff will work on your phone. And this is all super responsive. So
TJ, you're
that's
wild.
really nice. Oh,
You're wild.
Sure.
The labs and stuff we were talking about, there was like, when we have plugins, you can put plugins in. There was something else that I was just thinking of too. Damn it. Oh, well. My screen is so small now. I have to like show everybody my pores and my nose just to read anything. Yeah. Yeah, so this is fun. This is really fun. And it's not up and running now, but when I demonstrate Mimi, I'm sorry, Jump, that was working. We'll get it back pretty soon. And that's even.
Do that.
Look at all these steps you have to do.
Yes.
So I want to walk you through this.
Oh, it's so big. But now I've got this running on my local machine.
So I want you to switch Composer to the V3 branch, dev V3.
Okay. So Composer. I think I'm going to need to pull that down because I don't know if I've got it. Let me just check that actually. NativePHP mobile. I am. Oh no, I'm on the V3 branch. Cool. So let me just fetch the latest version of that. So then I need to. What's the bit that I need to do here to get that in?
Let me make sure my latest is pushed. Actually.
Repositories.
So you have to add. Update.
Oh no, it's not that.
All right, I just did like this. I did the letter U for my commit message, but it lets you know that I'm a real developer.
Cool.
All right. Path mobile. Yeah, or wherever you've got it.
Yeah. So have you pushed your stuff?
I did. Now make sure you switch it here in the require.
Yeah. I'm just going to make that a star.
Yep. And then
I need
dev stable, dev stability.
Oh, it was already down here at the bottom. That's interesting. I should have checked that. Of course it was there somewhere. I know I was expecting it to be at the top, but we can remove the.
There we go. Now composer update.
So
looks like you already have the native shell script. So you can just do native jump.
Sorry. I didn't want that to appear like so big. That's really annoying.
That's what she said. You're like, dude. Just ignore it completely. Just ignore it completely.
Let me make sure I get this into a good spot. Right. Tell me, what was the next step?
You did composer update. So do native / native.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Jump. Let's see if this works. We've never tried this before. This is all like the first time.
Are you sure that's it?
Yeah.
Are you sure?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. Okay, I'm going to try this on a phone.
Yep.
I'm going to try it on my phone, which isn't set up as a dev device. It's not set up. Like, if you know anything about how you do this on an iPhone, you have to have your iPhone registered with Apple as a developer device. Mine is not.
So pull up the Jump app.
Getting to it.
Share your screen.
I'm trying.
Lots of steps, man. What do you guys think about this sick Jump page? I think it's awesome. Move your mouse around a little bit. Woo! I feel like I'm playing Halo, you know? Is this the latest version of the Jump app?
Oh, I don't know.
Make sure you're on the latest build. Because that looked a bit wrong.
Let me update.
Yeah.
So let's quit that. Go to this, reopen. Fine.
There we go. There we
Cool.
go.
All right.
Cool.
All right. All right.
Now go ahead and click your little plus button up there
Ding.
and scan that QR code.
What is this? What's happening to my phone, Shane? What are you doing to me?
I've taken over. So what that did, so the jump command from the console zips up your whole Laravel project in a way that we need it to be and serves it over a local network on your network. And then when you scan the QR code, you're pulling in that, you're pulling that in. Now that bottom should have switched.
Yeah,
and I did fix that recently. So we'll take a look at that. Try switching tabs and see if it like works or doesn't work. Hey, yeah, okay. There we go. All right, it's a little bug there, but so now you've got your app right here.
I do.
See if it's 9 times 9, Simon.
I can't get back to the. Oh no, it's a bit. It's just getting like bedded in.
So I did notice that it's a little like once you if you restart the app now, like it's very quick. So there's like a little caching something going on or something like that. But we'll get there. We'll get there. So it's 81 all day, every day. Yep.
Yeah. I don't know. What's the meaning of life?
There you go.
So what the hell just happened here?
Yeah. So two things.
To me like
One,
5.
I really love how the buttons in the calculator are a little bit crooked, like randomly. That's pretty cool.
I want them to sort of. I'm going to get it to change it so that they're dancing a little bit.
Yeah, a little wobble. A slow wobble, a wobble. So here's the thing. I feel like some of these things with getting your environment ready for creating a native PHP application it's a barrier to entry. There are a few things. Yes, Martin, I will explain. That's what I'm doing right now. Is this the app in my local environment or on Bifrost? So we'll get to that. And actually, I will share my screen here in a moment. So the initial primary concept for Jump is so that you can go to any computer that has at least like Laravel Herd installed into it, and you can Laravel new Composer require native PHP mobile. So just the mobile package. We have a new command now called Jump. It's going to be in V3. You run native Jump. And that's going to zip up that file, everything there. It's going to serve it over the local network. You scan the QR code and it appears on your phone. So you can develop locally. The thing here is we've taken away the requirement to have Android Studio Xcode. Your phone does not have to be registered as a developer device. It's really like as long as you have this app that will be public installed on your device, you scan the QR code and you're off to the races. So that is the primary. I guess I'll go ahead and show my screen now. So let's do Basil, and I will pull up just like a blank something or other. Basil.
It's amazing. I built that app and it's on my phone. I haven't had to compile anything. I haven't had to open Xcode. I haven't had to install gigabytes of anything. And it's on my phone that's not set up for development at all.
Yeah, dude. We kick ass.
So would this work like if I was using a Windows machine, would I be able to launch my app on an iPhone if I was one of those strange Windows iPhone people?
Yes. Yep. That's exactly how that would work.
Sick.
Yeah. And even in that case, so like it asked you initially Android or iOS, you would still choose iOS because that's the device that you're going to preview it on. And I can make those instructions a bit more explicit. We just demonstrated the development, so I'm not going to show that. Mimi works the same or will work the same once Simon gets his act together. It was just working, so we'll get there. That's a little bust in his balls. But we also have the ability to, in our settings, we can connect our native, our Bifrost account. So to your point, Marty, yes, you can sign into Bifrost. Also, we have push notifications going out for some of these things. You can even switch teams here. So I've got 2 different teams. And when I've connected my Bifrost account to it, I have all the projects that I have in Bifrost as well. So I've got an app. This is the native PHP. There's a couple of these that I had to actually delink the GitHub account. So it's a little sketchy what I've done on some of these things. But this one here, I've already started a bit. And so actually what I think I'm going to do, is, let's do this view calculator up here. I'm going to click run. So what this is going to do, number one, it's going to ask me which branch do I want to build from. So there's only one branch. Maybe it could be smart and just like if there's only one, it just does that one. This is going to trigger a build on AWS. So we're using code build to spin up a new container, git clone your repository that's associated with this project, and it does all the stuff that it really needs to do to create that same exact zip file. But now these are like just any project that I have in Bifrost. So I'll click download and run. There's a server error because that was using my old GitHub account. Like I said, anyway, I'm not going to explain it all. There's a little thing. It's a known thing. It's not even a bug. It's just the way that I did things. I will do it here, though, instead. So I'll go to the NativePHP. This is the kitchen sink app. I know that I've done a build for test new BF builds, and I've done one for 2.x. I don't think I've done 3.x, and I don't think it will actually work because that uses some plugins. But what this is doing is actually triggering that build from in AWS Code Build. What's really nice is I can, and this took quite a bit of time, I can just close the app. You guys can see all of my personal business. Let me just delete all these. All right, so we'll leave this up here. It's going to take it about a minute. What do you guys think of my wallpaper?
The wallpaper is literally fire.
So what's happening right now, it's a man on fire. What's happening right now is doing that build. And what I'm demonstrating here is that you can just trigger that build to happen, and your device or devices, because you can have multiple devices connected to the same Bifrost account, they'll get the push notifications if you've opted in for those push notifications. So we should see that come up. Oh, I just realized two things. Number one, I have do not disturb on. And number two, with Bezel, you don't see push notifications. I'll get it like way later. So we're just going to have to say no to that, unfortunately.
Damn.
Yeah, didn't think about that. But we come back here and it did resume. So you can see that it's still building. It's still doing that build. It does check for any pending builds that are perhaps running and starts pulling against those. And build failed, which I thought it was going to because we're on V3. That's what I thought was going to happen.
Okay.
So once you have a build done, once we have a build done, then you can go in, I can click run again, and I'll go into like 2.x. I know this one's already built and downloaded. I've done it before. So you can see since it's already been built, we're checking the commit hash for that push, whatever. If there's a build there for it, it's just going to use that instead of triggering that build all over again. And then it downloads it, and that's it. So we don't have to like worry about excess builds or unnecessary builds. Again, these things, like, they sound intuitive and easy, and they kind of were, not bad to implement. But going through it enough times to where it's like, man, I just want to like cache these things, and like just keep the URL for that zip there. And did he cut it off with that sword? Hey, Craig, what's up, Craig? I was thinking about you the other day. We should talk. Please share wallpaper on Discord. I don't even know where I got it. I just like Googled. I think it was on X or something. But yeah, so we've got the whole entire, we have Edge components. So you can see we've got the actual native Edge stuff going on inside of this. Again, if you haven't seen the demo of this before, use 3 fingers. You see my camera, 3 fingers, and swipe from left to right. And that's going to do this. It
needs a little bit of finesse.
I don't usually do it so slow. I don't usually. You just go like that. I did it a little slow. Let's do it again. Let's do it again. Let's do it. Yeah, it's a flick, a chick flick. So again, we're using a cached build. It's pulling that down. It's got a zip already for that build, so we're just using that. It's going to download it. It's going to open it up, and your mom, and we'll just flick away from it, and so we're out of it. And so
well done.
Thank you. I have a lot of practice with those, actually. You can turn the push notifications off and on. You can switch teams. So if I switch to my team and then I go back to Bifrost, I don't have any on my team. I just like created a dummy demo team. But if I switch back, Then we have that whole team context. It's going to load those projects. Yeah, again, most of this is working really well. So I think it's a really good demo piece, even the way that it is right now. There are some things that we still want to add and build in. But again, we've created with Mimi and with Jump, we've created these platforms now that we can implement and add so many things to. Anytime like some good idea strikes us of something that should go into, like a way that we can reach out to people, or a promo perhaps, or like just a new feature, or like maybe we want to send a dev build right to GitHub and right to Bifrost from here. We could do all those things. We could do all that. We have the place to do those things from now. And
yeah,
that
this
was
is so good.
That was a pretty quick demo, actually, which is good. I'm trying to keep the whole thing under 10 minutes. So yeah.
Yeah, so we're going to try and demo this in India. Is that the plan?
That's we're not going to try. We're going to do it. There's no try. I will say
There's no try.
I will say also that if you can see my screen, let me go ahead and stop sharing this. Hide. Everything that you just saw is already done on Android as well. So everything is already on Android. They're already in parity. They're already caught up with each other. Yeah, the whole team switching. So you can switch teams, and the builds, the push notifications, the Mimi, the local development, all of it is already going. It's all good. Both of them are out. And I will say, like right now, I just submitted to the App Store last night. And I do expect some rejections from them, to be honest, just because it's, I have never submitted an app to them and not gotten a rejection. Google has already approved, and I'm waiting to pull the trigger on that. We have to wait until we have some more things buckled up internally. It'll go out when we release V3. That's the plan. And then same thing for Apple, trying to get that done, wrapped up before India, V3 release, hopefully. And yeah, we'll push that, the night before we go on stage, I think, so everybody can download it. Question from Marty. What is the state of nation on plugin development? He's Canadian. I think he meant state of the union. Or is that what other people say? Am I the weird one? Could be. Plugin development as well. Awesome stuff with Jump and Mimi. Yes, excellent question. So I'll take that one if you don't mind.
Yeah.
I've not touched plugins in probably 2 weeks or so. I've been really pushing on Jump, and actually, it's been only a week. It feels like 2 weeks. I started building out Revenue Cat plugin myself, just to explore some other potential problems that we might have with some things, or like just other things that we have to add in for functionality for plugins. So I started working on that, and I got it mostly done, actually, and it did flesh out a few more items. As far as where we're currently at with plugins, all of the plugins for all of the native API stuff in V2 has been stripped out in the plugins. All of the PHP has been done on them. I do have to test the JavaScript stuff on them, but those are mostly completely done. Now that we've got Jump submitted and Bifrost or Mimi is pretty well wrapped up, the next things that Simon and I will be working on over the next 2 weeks, basically, or 3 weeks till India, are plugins and the marketplace for the plugins. That's really we're laser focused to get those wrapped up before we get to India. So those are all ready to release and announce and all that stuff. So the marketplace will have a lot of the stuff that's built in to V2 will be free. There will be some of them that, frankly, it's the ones that people have asked mostly for: location and camera and scanner, video camera, stuff like that. Push notifications will be paid plugins. We will do discounts and stuff for people that already have licenses and all that stuff, especially if you just recently bought a license, obviously. And then what's really cool, so we should talk about this. I like talking publicly about decisions like this.
He just likes talking, folks, if you hadn't noticed.
It's the caffeine. It's the ice cream, dude. Kirkland signature. So
wait, before you get into the next phase of what you're doing, I just want to show you.
you're hacking away at. Did you get it? Did you get Mimi up? Tell me you got Mimi jump. Mimi jump.
It hasn't quite. No. I just want to show you what I've done with this app while you've been talking.
Okay.
It's not quite right, but it's getting there. Screen, come on.
You did the buttons.
So no,
this is for drunk mathematicians.
This is for people who want to like really break their brain. Like, is it plus or is it multiply? I don't know. It's got in the jump app, it's got the native bottom bar here, bottom nav.
Yeah, you got to get rid of the other one now.
I know it should have done, but it didn't. I told it to.
Just HTML. Jank. Jank.
But this is, I mean, also the colors really clashing with that like bright blue against the red. So grim. But you know, it's like all of the native stuff will work inside.
That tint color, actually, we don't honor tint colors in the bottom edge navigation components. We should implement that. There's some things in native PHP we really want to go back and work on, but one thing at a time. That's actually being brought over. That's being brought over from the jump app is putting that purple color in there, and it shouldn't. So little things like that. Yeah. What was I going to talk about? Oh,
sorry, I don't remember.
All right. The capitalist in me says we're creating this marketplace, right? And this is a different stream of revenue for us. And we're also opening this up for other developers to also participate and create plugins and sell them through our marketplace. And we get some commission or some percentage of those sales because we're doing the distribution. That's just like normal stuff. Along the way, I've created a Claude plugin. I've let a few people play with a Claude plugin that I've spent quite a bit of time on. And I'll always be spending time on this because this is like, I want to get it to one-shot things. And I'll tell you my testimonial on this plugin, okay? If you don't know about Claude plugins are the shiznit. Claude plugins group skills and agents, and the way that I've created them is by having a Claude session up and running, and I use the plugin to build stuff. And basically I like create a brand new plugin and tell it to make the camera app or something. Like I just tell it to do something, and it will go so far and then it will stop because it doesn't know something or does something wrong. And I'll go back to the Claude session that's creating the Claude plugin and tell it, this is what I did, this is what I expected to do, this is what you need to do differently. And it updates these plugins, the docs essentially for this plugin. So all the definitions of what it knows how to do things. And I did that for, God, I spent probably 40 hours working just on this plugin, to the point where last weekend there were, I got most of what we were calling the paid plugins out of the mobile application into their own separate packages, composer packages as plugins. And then the rest of the things were what we would do for free. So it's things like the dialogue alert stuff. It's things like the system information and, you know, all the different little things like that. And so I used that plugin and I said, all right, take one of them and create it as a brand new plugin. And it did it almost.
You're saying plugin lots of times and I'm confused now.
I know. Yeah.
Let's
clarify. So there's a Claude plugin. This is a plugin installed into Claude Code that is trained on how we create our native PHP plugins. So I told the Claude plugin to take like system out of the mobile package and put it over in this other directory as a native PHP plugin. Okay.
Yeah.
And it did it almost entirely. There was like one or two little things, and it was like just, I don't even think it did. I don't think it did anything. It just took it a minute. It went off for 5 or 10 minutes or something, and it came back, and I brought it back in, and it was so good. I thought because I'm testing on a real device, I'm like, it must be cached or something. So I had to like reinstall everything and make sure. And it was like, no, if I make a change in the plugin because it's sim linked inside, and I just DD'd something someplace, it like, nope, it actually just one shot moving this plugin, creating a plugin.
Wow.
So I said, okay. And I did one more, and it did the same exact thing, 5 or 10 minutes. And there's probably 8 more that I had to do. I was like, all right, I felt really comfortable, confident. It knew exactly what I was going for. It knew the flow of what I was doing. I said, go ahead and do the rest of them. Every single one of them converted over to actual plugins. It did the README. It did the docs. It does a docs. It does a boost guideline inside of every single plugin. So every plugin has its own boost guidelines. It did the GitHub, the Git init, and it did a commit, and then I was ready to just push it up to GitHub. It did everything that I was wanting it to do in one shot. And so the next day I started working on the Revenue Cat. Revenue Cat, for you that don't know, it's like it's a service. It's like the one that everyone uses. Really good pricing. It's in-app purchases is what they do. They facilitate Android and iOS and web too. In-app purchases and all the unlocking of features based on if you are a subscriber to whatever and all that stuff. And the whole process is a difficult process, and they've made it as easy as I think anyone probably could make it. And just so you know, the pricing, it's free for the first $2,500 in a year that you make as a developer or as an organization, and then they take 1% off the top. So that to me is like very fair. They're not even going to charge me until I've made $2,500, cool. And then it's 1%. So I'm making a plugin for that. This one took a bit more time because I'm developing. The plugin was missing a few things. It does things a little bit differently than in a context than I've done some things with. Things like where ENV keys kind of need to be, or they have to go in as in a certain place inside of Android in an XML file versus, and like all these little intricacy things. It might sound like a long time. It took me 4 hours to get this done. It sounds like a long time, but that would have taken me, I don't know how long that would have taken me on its own.
Probably weeks.
It would have taken, none of this ever existed before any of this. But just to write the plugin
you think
itself.
through like what you're writing code, and then you're compiling, and you're waiting, and then you're testing, and you're doing it one at a time. So you're going through all of it sequentially, and then
updating the plugin itself, updating the core to handle plugin.
Yeah, exactly. Like, and you've been able to. You could argue like. And this is unfair. I'm just saying it as like a bit of straw man thing, but the code was already written for a lot of those plugins, right? So
that's true.
That is extracted those and turned them into plugins.
Well, I've done other
Revenue
ones too.
Cat one is you've done some other brand new ones. That's kind of
I did a Bluetooth thing, and I did a bunch of little stuff like this. And it one-shots it. Now it's to the point where it's pretty much one-shotting because it's very well trained on the way that things need to be. Always. What's nice is because we control that. If you have auto updates on for that the Claude plugin, if there's any changes we have to make to NativePHP mobile that handle these things differently, we'll update the plugin as well, push that out, and then the next time you start a new session with Claude, it just takes in that update. There's nothing really you have to do on that side. So with the go ahead.
Sorry, go on. No, you go first.
I'll go first. With the Revenue Cat thing, I thought it was really, really cool. These are in-app purchase things, right? So I also told it to make a middleware. So I have a middleware when I try to access a certain endpoint, URL, route, whatever, inside of NativePHP. If I surround that route with the middleware, then it's going to pop up the paywall and be like, oh, you need to be whatever you configure in Revenue Cat to show them your offering, right? And also, I did blade directives as well. So you can say if they're subscribed to whatever string of that subscription that you're looking for, if they are subscribed, then it's like you're a pro member, or if not, like you must be a pro member to do whatever it is. So, it's so cool. We're doing this stuff that's native stuff, but we now have like Laravel fundamental middleware and blade directives do it like. It's like, this is like freaking awesome. Like, this is cool. It's exactly what we're talking about. It's Laravel development, but it's native outcome, for your regular Laravel stuff. So
The
that's it. That's my
the
2 cents.
thing that I'm like really excited about on that is like we can obviously go and build loads of plugins. We can build them really quickly. That's great. You can go and build plugins and you can build them really quickly. The best thing about that from my perspective is it's no longer going to be on us, just like the two of us, to figure out how to
It can't
build all
be.
of this
We
stuff.
needed to get that.
Yeah.
We should have solved this sooner, but we did it when we did. You know, it's only been a year, you know, not even a year.
I don't know. I feel like it is what it is. And like we could look back and sort of say we should have done this then or not, you know, whatever.
I feel
But
really happy
I
with what
think
we've
the
done.
reality is like we figured out how to build the functionality and kind of work all of this through. And we got to a natural sort of point where we went, oh, it would be great if we just had one way to do this. And you know, the God method. And then that's unlocked the, you know, we spent
The,
days talking about how we would get plugins to work.
yep.
And then, you know, now it's come to fruition and it's like, yeah, it's working exactly the way that we wanted it to. And that does unlock us then to kind of focus on what are the bigger, perhaps more important things within
And there are
native
plenty.
PHP that are going to be, yeah, really good. And like the stuff that we need to work on to make the business side able to support that continued development and yeah, growth of the whole project. So that's really exciting because it means that we can move on to some of those other things. I'm not saying like I love working on native PHP and I love working on these features and figuring out how to build all of that stuff and testing it relentlessly on iPhones of different versions and Androids of different models. You know, it's like it's a job unto itself. And I kind of really do want to move on to these other things because they're even more exciting. And I
Well,
think then
there
like giving everybody else the power to build plugins kind of allows us to do that.
it does unlock. It's an unlock for the whole ecosystem in that it gives us the core contributors, the core found whatever. It frees us up to doing more core things and not satisfying, you know, this we feel like this number of people wants the QR code scanner and this number like and like running after that. And in fact, like honestly, when the God method was settled, that really did make that all of that much easier, right? And so we started adding more and more stuff into core, and we found out number one, it's bloating. Number two, people are getting asked for permission strings from Apple for the camera when they're not using the camera at all, but the code is in the binary. So, like, I think that it was at really quick development speed that fleshed out some of these other things. It's like we gotta pull these out. And actually, that's not even the reason we created the plugins. It was just like now it's time for plugins.
Yeah.
Now anybody could create anything. We could abstract all the logic into a system that you can just adhere to the abstraction, and you're off to the races. So
yeah, and then you went on an extra layer and an extra layer, and you built the plugin.
I had a vision, man. I had a vision for it, like, and I was just like, I'm just gonna go do it. And I was like, I will hand code all of this. And I was like, well, let me see what Cloud will do first. And then it's like, oh my god, it thought of so many things I didn't even think of, and just stuff I didn't even know how to do. So yeah, it's
I love it. To answer me this one question though, because I think as we get into the, you know, all of the stuff that we've shown, obviously like this kind of getting projects up and running really quickly, getting them running on your phone really quickly using Jump. And then if I want to create custom functionality, is that going to what like plugins of my own to interface with, you know, device features that aren't supported by any other plugins yet? Is that going to work in Jump?
Yeah. So, I'm sorry. No. Custom plugins, at least for now, they can't work in Jump, and that's very important. We should be screaming that at everybody because I know that they're going to ask a question regardless. We may as well not scream it at anybody because they're going to ask anyway.
Yeah.
And here's the reason why: the Jump app has Kotlin and Swift definitions for the things that we have created as plugins, as however you want to say it. These are everything that everybody already knows about, the first party stuff. There's not a way to recompile your code into these things. Actually, Yeah, there's not a way to recompile, because
Correct.
when you start a new, I call them projects inside of Jump. It's really just like creating a new instance with a web view. It knows how to do Edge, and it knows the Kotlin and Swift that it is hitting for anything native is back on the rest of the application. Those are separate. We cannot take any code and compile it into that. We can't push code into a compiled application, especially one that's distributed and all that stuff. It's different when you think about it. If you have a plugin, if you're making your own plugin, using somebody else's plugin, you're locally developing stuff, and you're doing all that. You are compiling that application with that code in the Swift Kotlin side of things at that time. So that's how that gets there. It just won't work with something that's already compiled, and it's kind of just this shell to serve out these projects.
Yeah. So that's a little like that's a real technical limitation. Like there's nothing that we can do ever to solve that, because the way that apps are compiled and the way that they're kind of protected against introducing sort of third-party code like that.
I do want to figure that out, though. I know it's like
it won't be possible on iOS. That is simply the fact of it, because
for a custom plugin, correct? For custom plugins, as we build our own, which we will eventually add more of our own plugins, we can add that functionality into Jump. In fact, if somebody made a Bluetooth plugin and they were serving it on Bifrost Marketplace, NativePHP Marketplace, if we decided to implement that into Jump, we could do that. We just have to, like, it has to be properly, everything has, all the stars have to align to make sure that it's the right way to do that. I use that as an example. It could be a number of things, but it could be, we could recompile the app and push it. It's just more, that's now making us do more work when we're trying to get out of that. The right answer is, especially if you're building plugins, you're already going to be doing local development. Just do local development, the traditional V2 pre, sub V3 way of doing things, which is fine. I mean, there's absolutely nothing wrong with that. In fact, that's how I still do things, Yeah.
So Jump is going to be a great way to get going with like demoing apps with the limited set, I'll say, of features that we provide as first-party plugins, because it's got all of those to like potential clients, or maybe even taking the app that you're building for a client and demoing it to them mid-flow, and that you don't have to figure out how you get them a certificate file onto their phone or get their device added to your test flight or whatever. You just tell them to download Jump and point them at a link. At some point we'll have it so that they can just download it via a link. And
there could be,
I think that's really powerful enough for a lot of use cases straight away.
There could be either a mode or a separate app for clients, right? So like if I have clients and I'm building apps for them, they can log in. Maybe they have a bunch of different developers working on different apps for them in Bifrost or wherever. If they're in Bifrost projects, then they log in, they can see all the apps that are shared with them, and they can just preview and play with all of those things. The only limitation would still be lack of any custom plugins or anything outside of like what we put into the application itself. But I mean, I do feel like we covered 80%, maybe a little bit less than 80% of native functionality with what we've currently got. 80% of users.
Like the common, the most common things that you'll reach for initially, but then there is definitely going to be a lot more functionality that people want to.
Dude, I want to do augmented reality stuff. It's not hard to do. I've done this. No, it's like easy. It's not hard. It really is not difficult to do these things. Like anything that you can think to do with the phone, it's really now completely unlocked when we release this. So we're just doing our last bits to tidy things up now. We got docs to do.
Docs and testing and
marketplace and really test out.
Is almost done.
In fact, we'll probably be tapping on some people to try some things over the next couple weeks.
Oh, that's a good reminder. If you want to try any of this stuff out, um, well, certainly from the Mimi side, I don't know. What do you think we should get people using Jump as well?
Not yet.
Okay, so from
Not.
the Mimi side, I think I've started setting up how you can come and join the
Yeah.
beta. So
No, we could do another like flight test, test flight um, group. Yeah, I mean, if you want to, we've got a.
well, I mean, it might make it to the store, no? So we end up having it just point people
Yeah,
at
but
the
I'm not going
production
to
release.
publish it yet,
Oh, okay.
just in case. No, I would like people on test flight, and they can report some bugs and issues. Some things I already know about, but it could flesh out some things that I hadn't thought of yet.
Cool. Yeah, okay. Um, so we could do that in theory. It's like I could ask. So what I've been doing is on Discord, I've set up a little channel. It's private. So if you want to join in on the beta of Mimi and start testing it out with Jump and everything, there's a couple of little things that we bumped into today that we need to solve. But I would say probably start of next week, we'll start rolling that out to a handful of people.
I was going to say this time next week, it's probably going to be 4 times better. Both things, like everything's going to be
Yeah.
that much better, just because we're at that stage of growth where we have the platform, we're adding stuff and tweaking. You know what I mean? And it makes the overall experience that much better when things are all
Yeah.
working together properly. It's kind of fun,
Cool.
dude. Like I've learned so much in the last year of like building products, like my expectations of when to like what to expect when I release a product, how to
Mm-hmm.
build hype around a product. Like it's like cool. We have a rhythm now, I think, and we have some really. I was telling you earlier, and I'll tell everybody else this. Like, I feel like we've been selling this concept and idea of like you can build native apps with PHP, and it's been just kind of this concept and idea because it does mostly work. And now I feel like it's really come to this point where this is a real business organization because it's a very viable way to like we're really building really functional things here that are really able to change people's lives just as much as any other app could. And now we're
Yeah.
vibe coding it, we're linking it to your GitHub and like previews and
Such as the
the
McDonald's
automated
calculator.
builds and right. That's funny.
Yeah.
Changing people's lives. I'm loving it.
Yeah.
Um yeah.
It is
So
good. I mean, when you sent me the first build of the Jump app, I think that was like properly working. I was like, oh wow, we've got a, our own proper app. You know, like we've had the kitchen sink apps and we've done demo apps and things that we've been using at conferences and meetups and all of that to try and demonstrate the underlying technology. But now we're talking about actually having our own app. And then I've really enjoyed building this side of things. I really want to build that side of things as well. And it's like nice to, although we haven't been able to demonstrate that fully today, having them come together. Like when that does work, you know, there's just like a little QR code button in the Mimi interface, and then you literally do
yeah,
what we did from the command line, but you haven't had to even run the code on your machine, and it appears on your phone, and it's like it takes what, 2 minutes, less than 2 minutes.
it's a minute 25 seconds. Pretty much straight across
Just
the board.
always, yeah.
Yeah.
Um, so
127.
yeah, like, and when you can just do that over and over and over and over, and you're building it, and wherever you are, you know, it's like there's so many times now where I've done I'm away from my computer, and I've just opened up the browser to the Mimi and just start speaking to my phone to make some changes to one of the apps that I'm working on, and it's so fun, like to see it do all of that stuff. And then all I want is that little button that just lets me test the native features, you know, like jump. And you know, because obviously when you're on your phone, I was thinking about that earlier, when you're on your phone you can't really scan the QR code. So I just want the button in there that opens the Jump app and tells it what to do. So we'll do that as well. That's going to be really cool.
So many things. There's so many things. I have even more ideas, like floating islands, like during builds, and so many things. Like, and actually, oh god, I got so many ideas now. Just the communication between the computer and the app itself could be so much better. There's so much room to grow in that.
Yeah.
Couple
There's
questions before we end,
tons.
Jix. We're at that time.
Yeah.
Any update on right to left support on native PHP? No, there's not. We've not been focused on that, and it may be some time before we do. I actually don't even know what all would be involved because we're still rendering everything in a web view that you can't just do in HTML. Other than, I mean, I just don't know. I've not ever done a right to left app in any or website, to be honest. So I just don't have any experience with that, unfortunately. We could talk about that. You can hit us up, me up on Discord, and we can talk through it. Marty asked at the beginning of the video, I'd love to on how to use the Claude plugin. A video on how to use the Claude plugin to develop. Hit me up, Marty. I can show you a couple things on how to do that. We may end up just selling the plugin because it will be it. It unlocks. I could, if I sat down, if I did nothing but create plugins for a month, I would have 90%, 95% of the device functionality complete. And you could sell all of those plugins. It's a way to make revenue, right? So that plugin is worth its weight in gold, and it weighs nothing, so that didn't really say anything. Are you making the world a better place, Simon?
I am making the world a better place. My very presence distributes a new kind of ephemeral light onto everything around me.
You're very handsome.
But in all seriousness, that's quite an open-ended question. I think with what we're doing,
it's yes or no.
Oh, okay. Yes, the answer is yes.
I say yes. Go ahead, though.
No, I think you're right. That's it. Any way to obfuscate the code?
Yep, that's already built in. It's in our docs for Android. So there's obfuscation, minification. I have seen like the edge components not rendering properly when doing minification, I think it is. So like we're using ProGuard R8. I did some work on that a long time ago. I don't suggest anybody to use this. And I think just look in the native PHP config file at some of the stuff there and just test things out. It does need more work. I'll put it that way. But yeah, that's available.
There's nothing on the iOS side extra than what iOS does baked in to for native code obfuscation. I mean, it's compiled, so it's you don't, unless you've got a way to decompile, you're not going to really see that code. But we think about that, there's no real way to prevent somebody from doing that either. So if they can crack it back down, then they can get your code. For the PHP code, we're not doing any obfuscation anywhere at the moment on mobile, but we do have a mechanism to do that, which we started to support for desktop, which it's in Bifrost, and it's kind of behind a feature flag for desktop, and we'll be bringing that to mobile at some point this year as well. That's one of the other things that we need
later
to bring
in the year.
Yeah,
you know, everything we do with anything, even when I go to bed tonight, will be later this year. Like, was that Mitch Hedberg? He's like, someone came up to me, they're like, check out this picture of me when I was younger. And it's like, isn't every picture a picture of you when you were younger?
Oh,
every
that's
picture.
deep, bro.
Yeah. That's what she said.
What's the minimum Android API version?
It's in the docs. We talked a lot about this. It's 33. It will not work below 33, the way things are right now. Having all of this stuff that we're working on now will open us up to work on more core things. That is one of them. That is absolutely one of the things that we want to work on. So right now it's 33. That will change in the future. I promise you that will change in the future. It'll at least go to 34.
Cool.
That was
Good.
a joke. Hey, Christoph. How you doing, buddy? Bonjour. I don't know any French. I did Spanish, and my girlfriend's Russian, so I know хорошо and давай and пиздец. Um,
Yeah. Good.
yeah. All right. I think that's a good lull at the end. So
Yeah. My brain
we
is just going,
bonjour, bonjour.
I think I'm gonna have to go and eat something. I think
Get some
that's
Kirkland
definitely
brand
in
ice
later this year
cream
for me. Yeah.
bars. Yep.
I can't get those. I haven't got a Costco near me, so I
Craig,
need
are
to
you still
travel.
on? Did you drop off? Craig, are you still there? Craig.
Paging Craig.
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 Paging Craig. Mr. Craig. Most piece of machines are below 33, and it's big market in Africa. I trust me, we know. Blessed Jason Mwanza. I promise you, we're fully aware, and it is on our radar. It's just the two of us working, and we're doing the best what we can. Any plans on supporting plain PHP, not Laravel? We thought about it. We talked about it.
Plain
Technically, it
PHP.
works. Well, we have to
is.
bootstrap Laravel, so
No,
it doesn't.
it does. It does. Laravel is plain PHP. There's
That's a
two
great point.
reasons we're using Laravel, and it kind of focuses on Laravel.
At least two.
At least two. These are kind of the most important ones. One, it's a great jumping off point for building the whole like command
Everything.
line stuff that we're doing to wrap up your application, inject native PHP for iOS and Android into your application, take your application and wrap it up into the native application, and do all of that really reliably, knowing that we've got all of the Laravel tooling available to us with your application. So we can use all of that, leverage it really easily. If you didn't use Laravel, we don't have any of that. We don't know what we have. So you wouldn't get any of all of these affordances. There wouldn't be commands to just simply run your app.
We would like so, if it was vanilla PHP, what routes? How do we handle navigate? Like, you know what I mean? Like, yeah, there's a ton. Like, you need something very opinionated like Laravel to code something like this against.
If it wouldn't be Laravel, then there would be like a shell of a framework that we would build in PHP. I just like, why would we do that? Because it would be missing loads and loads of stuff, and it would be another new thing for people to learn. That's point number one. Point number two is that when you're then running inside the shell application, again, you know what you're dealing with. And because it's Laravel, we can make loads of assumptions about what's available and where it is, and the kind of things that we can tell you that you can do. You know, all the plugin stuff is very dependent upon the way that Laravel works, because we're using things like service providers to register them and hook them into the life cycle of your application, and the deployment process and the build process and all of that. So if we didn't have Laravel, you'd have to come up with all of the ways to do that. Not saying that it's not possible. It's just a lot more work, like building a whole set of infrastructure just for what? It doesn't actually mean that people can use vanilla PHP. You can't just like push an index.php script onto the phone and have it work.
I will say
you have to have a load more stuff.
We're going to end the call with this comment. We will be announcing and releasing something soon that will facilitate building native PHP apps with frameworks other than, or non-frameworks other than Laravel. Very soon. Mm-hmm. That's all I can really say about it. Bye. Peace.
Wait, there's one more.
All right, good. I like the questions.
I'm building a web Livewire starter kit with lot less of packages. However, I'm trying to think on how to connect mobile to server, but I can't figure out a proper way. Kindly advise on that.
Yeah. I mean, look at the starter kits we've already done. They both show very good examples of how to connect your mobile app to an API server.
If you've done any API development, I mean, where you've built the API and you built a client that connects to the API, it's really no different. If you've connected to APIs from Laravel or PHP, you've used things like Guzzle or the HTTP facade, or any of that stuff, it's basically all of that. It's the same. It's no different. You're running PHP just on another device on the network. And so you can do all of the things that you're used to doing super easy. Sanctum baby, exactly.
Jehovah says net worth. I like that. Give me a reason. I'm not saying no. We haven't really thought about this. So use local storage of the browser. Tell me why. Oh, wait.
Yeah.
I mean, there's use cases for it, for sure. But
I
wanna know
really
why.
like the way that Caleb has I can't remember, there's some plugin in Alpine that it's maybe like core Alpine now that lets you persist stuff using local storage. I don't know if you've ever used it, but
I'm not.
it's just like a really neat little API that he's got that in JavaScript and in your Alpine components, and obviously it extends into Livewire, you can just store things kind of in the web view side that you don't really need it like in the database or in an API or anything like that. And it's just like little bits of information. I'm using it now in Mimi. Like if you type something into the prompt box and let's say you accidentally refresh the page or go away and you've written a whole essay in the prompt, you wouldn't want to lose that. Well, it stores it straight away in local storage, so it doesn't have to make a network request or anything for that to appear there and get saved. So as long as you open it up in the same browser, that local storage will come back up, and your prompt is essentially saved automatically, which is great. But then the reality is that you don't want stuff just stuck on people's devices. They're going to want like sharing data with other people. They're going to want to sync their data across devices and all of that kind of thing. So you have to provide some mechanism to send it over the network and store it somewhere else. Also, local storage is really gross to work with for any kind of volume of data. If you've got structured data, you want that to go into a SQLite database and deal with it in a nice, proper
I don't have
way.
anything against local storage. I was just wondering why. I mean, there's session, there's cache, there is, what was the first one I said? Session, cache, there's storage, there's secure storage, there's the database. I mean, there's a lot of things that we already give access to. And I think that, like, again, not saying no, and I'm not saying it's a bad idea, but there are more important things for me to focus on than that. And that takes some time. It's maybe not, it's a lot of time, but it's some time. How much local storage would you use if you were creating a fully native application?
There's some things that it won't work for either.
Yeah.
It's good for little blobs of text, but anything else is like, where are you going to put that? You can't use local storage for everything. It's a pretty terrible API as well.
You have to bump the version to update out of data and WebSockets and secure storage, etc. I don't understand what that means.
We might be talking to a Claude agent. Claude agent. I don't understand that. But I'm too hungry to wait around for.
Yeah, hit me up on Discord. Let's keep the conversation going over there. We'll be around. Yeah,
this was good.
Yeah, good job.
I like this. I like this McDonald's app, even like not McDonald's.
Dude,
I
I'm
hope you
loving
do.
it.
Yeah.
So cheesy.
We're gonna get all of this stuff ready next week for everybody to start trying out. I think that's what we've got to do.
The bot says he's human. I'm just kidding, man. I know you're human. Yeah, hit me up on Discord. We'll chat over there. I'm not opposed to it. I'm just wondering what your use case is. Okay, on that note, toodles, TTFN, ta-ta for now.
Bye,
Have a great
y'all.
weekend and stay right.
I'm loving it.